Hello class, and welcome to this session of our course. I'm just going to go over a couple of things that I'm looking for to clarify for you. And I am actually using Screencast-O-Matic, which is really easy to see. And I wanted to show you a couple of things and go over them with you. One thing that I wanted to tell you is that the drop date is still happening. So if you need to drop the class and you can't make it through, there's no shame in that. You can take it again. It's unfortunate, but if you have to, you have to. I'd rather see you drop it than get a poor grade. And so I wanted to go here and talk about your argument. Chapter is 1718 in the new edition of your Everyone's an Author textbook. So when you go here on the calendar, this is basically an update. I want you to go ahead and go to the calendar every once in a while and just make sure that you're up to speed on what it's asking you to do. So this is, of course, September, which is almost over. And so you're going to find things really chunked as far as what you need to do. And these are the readings, and they are here. So read the APA style section. So I will have expected you to have read the APA style section and to know it and to be using it in your assignments. So if you're not using APA style, I don't know why you're not. So that's one thing that we're really hitting hard toward the end of your course. So what is coming due shortly, because we're on the 27th. So the 27th, what is due here is this quiz 4, and that is chapter 1718. And there's also a PowerPoint that's really important that you look at that. So if you haven't gone through and looked at all the material related to your quizzes, I'm just making sure I don't have any stain on me. I've been staining doors and doing home construction. I actually installed 3 interior doors today and finished staining them. So I'm asphyxiated pretty much. So here we are. These are your ways to respond. This is, let me see if I can see what you see, because you don't see everything anymore. So now you're going to see only what I see. So we have, sorry, not exactly what I wanted. We have the icebreaker about you, which most people completed and some of you did not. And then we have a formal essay, nickeled and dimed. And then we have the selling the farm and summarizing. These aren't all in perfect order date. They should be in perfect date order, but I don't know why Blackboard doesn't allow us to change them the way that it used to. We used to be able to just fluidly move these around. And the reason why I put the date on here every time is because it's so annoying. And I know it still annoys some of you having to look at the date before you do the assignment, and that some are not in the correct above state. But I have to tell you, not every instructor puts the date in the assignment. Usually you have to click on it. So this ethos, pathos, and logos is due on September 30th. So I won't be grading it yet. So the Farewell to Arms and Lydia's story, I did grade those if they were in on time. And same with the summarizing. So selling the farm and your formal essay, I'm working on grading those now. So the next thing we have is on the 30th, the ethos, pathos, and logos. And then analyzing political topics paper. And this one is due September 29th. And that's not a mistake. It is due September 29th. So I'm going to change that it has that in here. So let me go back up here. And I wanted to talk about that political topic paper for a minute, because what I wanted to tell you and clarify is that I'm not trying to find out what your political persuasion is. In fact, you can do this assignment and completely leave me in the dark about that. I promise you can still do the assignment and I cannot know what your political persuasion is. So I'm going to go in here and put the date in your headline because it's not in the headline. So 9/29 is what it's going to be. I'm going to edit it. It's not going to change anything if you've submitted it already. I like to put it first. So 9/29. So one question you may have is, why is everything bumping up so close to each other? Well, because thankfully you are actually going to be done with this class on mid-October, and then you can focus on all of your other courses. So that's awesome, but it also means that this class crunches toward the end. There's really no way around it because we're doing building blocks that we're building to this point. So you've done all of the elements. So make sure that you do watch this political websites and read all of the directions. I know it is 20 questions, but the directions are really, really clear. So you will have to look at the chapters. The chapters are on, so I want you to see the PowerPoint. Here, that's the PowerPoint. So I want you to use this. And then I want you to use all of the readings that you've supposed to have read in your Everyone's an Author so far. Analyzing arguments is what you're supposed to be looking at. And so this is going to be chapter 17 and 18 in your textbook for Everyone's an Author. And I had the old textbook and the new textbook, and I was trying ridiculously to make everything match, but that really wasn't working as well. So what I've done is I've taken out all the page numbers. So now I'm getting a million emails about page numbers. I'm going to say chapter 17, 18, new, Everyone's an Author. So look up the arguments in the old version. So I want you to just use it to do an argument. So that's what we're looking for. So Everyone's an Author. Look up arguments in the old version. It's 17, 18. So the page numbers may not correspond, but it is chapter 17, 18. That's the part that matters for you. And so I'm trying to remove all of these page numbers because they often went with the old chapter. And actually mine is an online only version. I've got a Kindle version, so my version is just slightly different. So I'm just going to say chapter 17. Okay, so we're squared away on that one. So the idea of the argument is that you're looking at how these websites use political issues and explain political issues. And so how this matters in our essays and in your writing in general in college is that you need to be able to make an argument. So the point of this assignment is not that we talk about our political issues. The point, although you can do that, it's fun and I enjoy it. And I would be tickled by anything political that you want to write about. It doesn't really matter if I agree with it. I'm amused by all of it. But what I want you to do is I want you to look at the political websites and talk about who's presenting the info and why. I want you to look at bias. So the choice for the websites is here and why we're using those. And Everyone's an Author asks you, as I do, to pay close attention to the source of an argument. That's the point of the assignment. So what are the facts? You're going to choose from 3 websites, only the ones given to you, on the PowerPoint that's above, and no other websites, however. And then I want you to ask some hard choices, hard questions about a topic. So my preference is you do a political topic. The topic within that is up to you. So it has to be a political topic, whatever you wish to do. So stasis theory is about the questions that you're going to ask. What are the facts as presented by each journal? So you're looking at each of the articles and you're talking about what are the facts of this article? So what does this person say is true? You're looking at it from the perspective of the person giving the information. How is the issue defined? How much does the difference in information given matter between the articles, and why? What action should be taken according to each journal about this issue? What do they want you to do? So I want you to ask yourself which you find more personally appealing and why. So this involves some comparison, contrast, some really in-depth analysis of what the articles are. And then I want you to analyze how the issue is presented and which one you would choose and how come. So don't convince us of your beliefs. This is not your point. This is not what we're trying to get you to do. We're trying to get you to do a critical analysis. So you can mention 3 to 5 articles, but you have to well use 3, and that should be plenty for this essay. They come from 3 different journals. You can talk or discuss about other articles, but only be brief, because these 3 articles should be covered really well. So remember to number each paragraph of the article and quote like this: PARAP space 2, and this is in parentheses, and the author's last name of the year goes in here. Remember, I'm expecting you to know APA at this point. So analysis should be 65% analysis and 35% or less direct quoting. Summarize, don't paraphrase. Paraphrase means you're just saying exactly word for word what they're saying in different words, and that's not useful for anyone. Analyze the articles for all of these things that it talks about: references, your page number, your abstract, journals. You can choose have fun. It should be something you can throw yourself into. Ask your friends or associates what they think of your articles, but make sure you don't interfere with their opinions. So if I say, hey, what do you think of this article? And they read it and they're like, oh my God, what did you think? Don't give an opinion. Ask them what they think. They think, this is right on, this is so true. So I want you to get their opinion without infiltrating their opinion. Okay, and then we had, right before that, because the date order, quiz 4, argument analysis, final quiz before the final. So this is based on those chapters 17, 18 on argument analysis. And I wanted to change that for you too, because it's, again, giving page numbers. And I've already had at least one person tell me that the page numbers, chapter 17, 18, look in the contents and back. Okay, so I want you to do the argument analysis. This is for the final. So see the reading 17, 18. All of this is on your website analysis PowerPoint. So I wanted to go through that PowerPoint really slowly and carefully. So I do outline the things that you need to do and to know on all of this on the PowerPoint, but your textbook is in the arguments section. What if your textbook is a different issue, different, like this is version 1, version 2, editorial versions? It doesn't matter. They both talk about argument. They talk about arguments extensively. The newer one is just more contemporary by far. And instructors differ on their opinions. I think that it's too much the same to worry about. But when I'm taking medical classes, the medical books, the instructor doesn't care. The body's pretty much the same, even though tons of new information about health stuff has been discovered. So it is the same, but it isn't. You'll just have to look in the back of the book for what are the argument sections. All right, so 10.3 is going to be a response due for Nickeled and Dimed and the Pursuit of the American Dream. So you're going to post yours and edit appears. This is a group assignment. So make sure you're doing it as part of your group. So when you click that, it should take you to your group. And we've already done this, we've already done these. And then we have an audio visual project coming up about Change the World, altruism, and there's some really specific guidelines, but the main thing for you to remember is I want you to include everything that you've used so far and continue to prove your sources, make your ideas crystal clear, make sure that we're really knowing what you're talking about. So there's ethos, pathos, and logos here. I want you to use them. There's Screencast-O-Matic, which I'm using, and it's free. And then I want you to do the TED Talks research paper. The TED Talks research paper is not difficult at all. In many ways, it's fun because you get to choose your topic. So you get to choose your topic from these 8 talks. So about play, about data, about mentoring. You can choose one of those. There's 8 talks on each, but you don't have to choose all 8. You have to choose one of these 3, and then you're going to listen to 4 talks. So you don't have to listen to all of them. And then follow the directions for that assignment. And then there's an annotation lecture. That's a quiz 5. And it's due on September 17th. So you have a week. This didn't have the date in it. I'll give it September 30th. But again, you can see it really quickly just by clicking on it. So it's not really an excuse, not really a problem. So I'm going to make sure that you can. Sometimes I forget to click this and you try and submit something more than once and it freaks out. So if it does that, just let me know because it'll be easier for you to resubmit if it's fixed in that way. So that's quiz number 5. And then we have an optional quiz 6, which is on freshman writing mistakes. Make absolute sure that you do this freshman writing mistakes. You have a week from the date here, so you have a week from the 24th. It's optional, it's a choice, but it is 30 points. So please don't forget to do those things that are 30 points, and you can definitely use the points. So you watch this, and then you do this assignment. It's like playing 21 questions. It is not hard. It is the same as what you've been doing before. I'm just giving you some opportunities to get some information. So my apologies. I need to quit Messenger. And so, sorry, getting back to where I'm supposed to be. All right, so we're in assignments now and going on to points for editing. You're going to edit your own nickeled and dimed and then get even more points. So this is 30 points for editing your own based on your peers' feedback and my comments. And I'm actually going to give you a little bit more time on this one because I want to make sure that you get at least a week from the time when I give it back to you. So I'm going to get them back to you by the 30th. So I have to give you until the 7th. So you'll have until then to fix it. That's why I'm fixing this. So that assignment gives you actually a whole bunch of points if you do all of the elements of it. And the snoring next to me is my small dog, one of them. All right, so I'm submitting this. Actually, I'm gonna just make sure that, go back for just a second. And then I'm gonna go into submission details and make sure.
Hello and welcome to the Ashford Writing Center's student webinar on APA formatting. How exciting! We'll be covering
part of one of the assignments that you have. So I want to make sure that you get multiple attempts to do these assignments. Sorry. Especially on editorial assignments. All right, so that is that. Okay, so this is a discussion board post, great narrative. We're still, okay, so there we go. So that's going to be the 7th. And then you have a group task. This is going to be yours is due on the 3rd to edit someone else's paper. So you're going to edit somebody else's paper by the 3rd. So it's only going to give you a window of a few days. And since that's only going to give you a window of a few days, it's actually whenever they get it finished, which a lot of people are done already. So, and I can't give you a ton more time than this, but remember you have a week leeway. You don't have a week leeway in the last week of class, but you'll have a week leeway for those assignments. That's why we have that cushion at the end. So if you do need more time on those tasks, you can let me know and just keep communicating with me. All right, so those are all of our assignments for the rest till the end, and I just wanted to let you know that I did not forget that hacker website, the extra points that you can possibly get from that website, but I will not post those until the 1st, which I've said in some of the announcements that I've given you. All right, so don't forget to watch the lectures. They're really important for your grades. And so the lectures give you real important updates, such as the edition, the lectures, calendar update, 3 websites for citations, Barbara Ehrenreich serving in Florida. I gave you some choices in case people didn't connect with that rating, and they could do a different one. All right, so make sure that you do check in with Blackboard and submit assignments. And I have a ton of work to do in grading, and I really am enjoying your writing. So I'm going to get those done hopefully within 2 days. That's my goal. All right, thanks. Have a great week.